Welcome back, everyone. It's here. And today I've got some r/best of for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Choice Evidence, 1983, and their tagline is, "It dawned on me that he was a wizard." The original OP was Either Ambassador 54, posted to r/am I the asshole. Am I the asshole for just deciding not to travel because my wife made reservations for Disney again? Originally posted December 13th, 2024. My wife Jess and I have been married for the past 13 years. We're both 39. After experiencing financial hardship throughout our 20s and early 30s, Jess and I are now fortunate enough to have the means to travel once or twice a year. The only problem is that Jess literally only wants to go to Disney World. We have been to Disney 9 times now, and every vacation we have ever taken together was to go there, including our honeymoon. So we go, we eat the Mickey Mouse ice cream, we wear the Mickey Mouse ears, we stay in the official hotels, we see the characters, we ride the rides, we take the pictures in front of Cinderella's castle, and we come home. Every trip. I'm honestly beyond sick of Disney, and I never really liked going in the first place. Jess knows this, but she has no concept of travel beyond Disney. We're currently planning a trip for April, and Jess, as usual, said that we can just go to Disney. I explained that it sounds fun, but hey, why don't we go somewhere like Hawaii this time? Jess was confused. She asked why we would go to Hawaii. I responded that we could enjoy the spas and go to the beach. Jess mumbled a half-hearted answer and walked away. A few days later, she approached me, saying that she made hotel reservations for Hawaii. At first, I was excited because although she did so without consulting me, it seemed like she was really listening. But then when she showed me the hotel she booked, oh no, I know where this is going. I found she had made reservations for Aulani, the Disney resort in Hawaii. Frustrated, I told her that I'm honestly tired of Disney, and that I just want to have a different experience this time. She told me that she was compromising with me, and that I should be appreciative for the time she spent. I asked her if she was willing to consider anything other than Disney for our trip, and she said no. At this point, I said that I wasn't going. Now she's furious. She canceled the reservations she made, and now she's looking for a friend to go to Disney World with again, without me. Was I the asshole here for not trying to accommodate her request? Am I the asshole has no consensus bot, but OP received the majority of not the assholes and a few others. Top comment. Commenter 1. How the fuck did this go on for 9 trips without you saying something? I'd have gotten mad after going a second time. Commenter 2. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Does she realize there's a whole non-Disney world out there, and it's much less expensive with shorter lines? Commenter 3. However, you should also consider being more truthful with your wife. If you can't even be truthful with your wife, who can you be truthful with? It obviously did not sound fun at all to you, so just be clear on that. In fact, the second time she booked the Disney trip, you should have been honest with her and suggested something else. Commenter 4. At 39, it might be time to consider broadening her horizons and embracing more of what the world has to offer. Life is too short to be spent solely between home and Disney when there's so much out there waiting to be explored. Update, December 20th, 2024. 1 week later. About a week ago, I made a post about an argument my wife Jess and I had. The too long didn't read version of it is that Jess loves going to Disney World, and we've gone there for literally every trip during our marriage, which is now at an impressive 9 times. When I asked Jess if we could go somewhere like Hawaii, she suggested Aulani, the Disney resort, and I dismissed the idea immediately. This upset Jess. Well, here's the update. I screwed up. I know most people were giving me the not the asshole judgment, but Jess actually showed a great deal of openness to my idea. She took initiative by reserving the hotel because she wanted me to be happy. Oh, buddy. When I said, nope, no Disney, she felt that I hadn't put any effort into taking her feelings into consideration, and she was completely right. I hadn't. It was, in a twisted way, my form of revenge for dragging me to Disney World all those times. Oh, dude. In the last post, some people commented about how Aulani barely even looks like a Disney resort at all. This is something I should have researched myself before I threw the gauntlet down with Jess. When I looked into it, it looks like a run-of-the-mill Hawaiian resort. In my defense, going to Disney World 9 times has kind of made me sensitive, and I'm fairly sure that on Rorschach tests, I'd see nothing but mouse ears at this point. but I really should not have jumped to conclusions. A day after I made the post, I approached Jess and apologized. I was wrong. Yes, she might be a Disney adult, but aside from always wanting to go to their theme parks, she's never obnoxious about it. I said I was sorry and asked for permission to reserve the hotel again, and Jess responded that she'd love to go to Aulani with me. When I told her that it's not really all that Disney, Jess said, "Of course I knew that. I wanted to go because my sister said it was beautiful." I'm a moron. Jess and I have replanned our vacation and we're super excited to be going now. I came to this realization because a lot of people pointed out some things I should have figured out myself. Thank you. Jesus Christ, dude. Commenter 1. Man, did you get gaslit? 9 fucking vacations in a row to Disney. Did she take your feelings into account any of those 9 times? Nope. Commenter 2. What do you mean she's never been obnoxious about it? She dragged you to Disney 9 times in your marriage, ignoring your communication that you wanted to go somewhere else. When you put your foot down, she scheduled 10th Disney vacation just at a different Disney location. Is this even OP? Did she tie you up and gag you with Mickey Mouse ears, typing on your account? Because her behavior is not okay. And a 10th Disney trip when you said no more Disney is zero compromise on her part. Do you need to be extracted? Commenter 3. This update actually makes me sad. I'm sure Aulani is lovely, but Jess still is not considering your feelings, and you still aren't standing up for yourself. You need to communicate. Respectfully, calmly, and like adults. Maybe this is a good bridge to less Disney-centric vacations, maybe not. But unless you communicate your frustrations, you're going to be going to something Disney-themed next time too. New update, January 5th, 2025, 3 weeks later. Hi again, everybody. This situation all started because my wife Jess and I had an argument about going to Disney World on vacation again. I didn't want to go because we had already been 9 times, and when I suggested Hawaii, Jess made reservations for Aulani, which is a Disney-owned resort. I immediately rejected this idea, mistakenly believing it was just another Disney vacation. Eventually, I realized that I was wrong and that Aulani was a perfectly fine compromise. Unfortunately, we will not be going to Aulani for our upcoming vacation. A couple of days after Christmas, Jess had a minor car accident. She mistook drive for reverse and backed into our garage door. When I heard the loud bang, I ran outside, and I found Jess holding her neck in the car. I immediately drove her to the hospital where she got x-rays done. She seemed fine, but the doctor said that based on her symptoms, headache, neck pain, numbness in her fingers, she could have whiplash. Jess and I figured that she would be fine in a couple of days. But almost 2 weeks later, she is still complaining about back pain. Yesterday, she approached me saying that she wasn't confident she could go to Hawaii in a few months. I asked what she wanted to do, and while apologizing profusely, she asked me if we could postpone that trip. I responded that she had absolutely nothing to apologize for. After that, she said that she felt bad about not being able to go to Hawaii, but she might be able to make it to Disney. To Disney World. While I didn't understand at first, she told me that it has very high accessibility, and in worst case scenario, ECV rentals. She doubts that it'll be necessary, but assured me that we could take it easy there. I know that this isn't the conclusion that people here wanted, and it's certainly not what I wanted to do with my next vacation, but Jess's health has to come first here. We've made our reservations. It's not where I want to go, but Jess is super happy right now, and that's what matters most to me. Thank you all for your input. Comments. Commenter 1. A resort is infinitely more relaxing and easier than Disney, even for non-injured people. I think you got played, buddy. Disney adults be scheming. Commenter 2. Damn, she's good. A master manipulator. Time to get out, bro, or you're gonna be miserable for the rest of your life. Commenter 3. She literally did that on purpose, Lamau. You keep getting sucked into it, and you will always get suckered into it because you have no backbone. Good luck with the rest of your life. This kind of shit does strike a very personal accord with me. I think she crashed the car on purpose, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Because even if you accidentally did put the car in drive instead of reverse, which can happen, alright, we're human. Did she floor it? Does she floor it? Like when she's getting out of the driveway, does she just floor it? Because this doesn't feel right with me. And like if it was a car accident and all vacations were canceled, that would be one thing. I would probably be more believing it. But the fact that she was so quick to flip the script and go right back to Disney World after you two had a massive fight about not wanting to do Disney-related stuff? Dude, you can't even fight back against this because she'll pull the injury card against you. You are in dangerous waters, my man. And at the rate this shit is going, she's gonna be hosting your funeral at Disney World, alright? You need to... Dude. Like, I'm so frustrated, but not with the guy because I've been here before. It's just... It sucks being on the other side of the veil and seeing how fucking obvious this shit is, but when you're in this situation, you don't see it. You always assume the best of intentions of your partner. But truth being, this just feels like it's on purpose. And just as a general PSA, if you're ever in a position where you are constantly doing something your partner wants to do and you don't like it, and you finally stand up for yourself, and you try to say, hey, I want to do something different because I don't like doing this. Then they flip the script on you and say, you're not taking my feelings into account. You're being dragged through the mud. You will be made to believe that because you want to do something that you want to do instead of something they want to do, that you are in the wrong. And unfortunately, we just watched OP go through this, and it fucking hurts, man. Like, I am crossing my fingers that this is just a fake post by a troll, and this is a good learning opportunity to help people identify toxic situations within a relationship, to help just kind of get people's understanding that this kind of stuff can happen and you can be entirely blind to it, and then be made to believe that you're in the wrong for just simply voicing your opinions or what you might want to do. This kind of stuff happens in relationships, and even if this post is fake, I feel like this is just good to point out to maybe help someone who's in a situation similar to this identify that they're not in as safe as a place as they think they are. So please, if you find yourself being in a similar position as this, maybe take a step back and just look at the bigger picture. This post was gathered by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is Satan is not a pogo stick. The original poster is u/palpitation9001. Originally posted to r/relationship advice. Content warning for obsessive behavior, racism, and emotional infidelity. My 21 female, boyfriend 22 male, gets so jealous over his brother's 26 male, girlfriend 28 female, that he cries until he vomits. September 30th, 2020. My boyfriend, Jake, and I are high school sweethearts and share an apartment with his brother, Finn. Finn has been seeing a woman named Bonnie for the past 3 months. They met over Tinder, and with certain restrictions lifting, we're finally getting to spend some time with her IRL. She's a really great person, and she and Finn are stupidly into each other, like accidentally finishing each other's sentences in love. And like staring at each other with big gooey eyes in love. It's kind of gross, but kind of sweet. A couple of days ago, I noticed that Jake's been acting weird. He's been a lot quieter and a lot colder to me, going to bed early, getting up late. I tried to kiss him and he turned away. Yesterday, when Finn was out, I asked what was up with him. And he started off kind of hostile, but when I said that I was really feeling hurt, he blew up. Summarized, he told me that he was rethinking our entire relationship after listening to his brother talk about Bonnie. He said that Bonnie asked for Finn's preference when she cut her hair, and didn't get bangs when he said he thought they looked stupid. When I got a pixie cut without asking Jake what he'd think first. He said that Bonnie gave Finn a blowjob every night before bed, and one every morning when he woke up, when I don't really like oral, giving or receiving. He said I never offered to give him massages or pack his lunch. For clarification, I do things for him all the time, but we've never been lovey-dovey. We don't even celebrate Valentine's Day, his suggestion. We both always agreed it was stupid and unrealistic. In fact, we always used to make fun of people for being so sappy, and definitely gave Finn hell for a bit over being so gooey. He was crying by the end of it, saying that he felt sick over missing out on someone who would love him that much. I said I loved him, but he didn't want to hear it. He started gagging and threw up a little bit because he was crying so hard. I didn't know what else to do, so I got him some water and went to bed. I went to work early and I've been hanging out at a coffee shop, but I have to go home soon. I have no idea where to go from here or what to say to him. I don't even know if we're still together. Help? Just with all of this shit. Top comments. Drincourt. In a million years, I would never be able to look at my partner again if they said something like this to me. I'd be out the door for good. Jesse Monster. And then started crying so much they threw up. No, thank you. That kind of entitlement and immaturity is a boner killer. Outdated opinion. He sounds like a grown-up version of Eric from South Park. Also, like, in my eyes, it sounds like that his brother is just in the honeymoon phase of his relationship where they were unable to physically see each other for multiple months and then suddenly they can. Yeah, things are gonna be a bit more gooey and touchy and doughy and a lot more just charged than they would be otherwise. Update. October 3rd, 2020, 3 days later. Sorry I didn't respond to anyone's comments. I went home after posting, and by the time I logged back onto Reddit, the post had been locked. A few of you asked for the update, so here it is. I'm single. I came home and Jake was gone. Finn was there and asked if I could sit down for a bit. He wouldn't give me the exact details, but said that he and Jake had talked while I was out. He also showed me a few text messages to prove it. Apparently, Finn had never shared any details with his brother, but Jake had been able to hear them moan through the walls when Bonnie stayed over. It wasn't a bro talk or anything after all. Just the man I thought was going to marry, listening to his brother having sex through the walls. Neat! When Finn got home from work, Jake tried joking about it and made comments about Bonnie's race. Finn kicked him out and now Jake is going to be staying with their parents, so I have to pay his share of the rent too because Finn refuses to let him in and Jake refuses to come back. Double neat! A few people had questions, so here we go. Did Jake ever mention wanting romantic gestures? No. We actually got together because we were the only goths in school. We bonded over being against lovey-dovey stuff like that. We grew out of the edgy phase, but yeah, he always was firm he hated Valentine's Day in women who needed roses or gifts to feel loved. He has never done anything like this before. Now that I think about it, yeah, he throws tantrums before, but never like this. Things like carry-out orders forgetting his side dishes or stores running out of his favorite items always made him really emotional. And as for the question, why don't you like oral? Bad incident involving Jake's braces left me with some scarring down there. He liked deep-throating. 0 out of 10. I feel sorry for Bonnie. I don't want to know any more of the details about their relationship, but they seem happy. They work at the same high-intensity job, think physical trainers or OT, so she packs meal prep bento boxes for him and herself. Finn buys her flowers, fixes her car, goes over when spiders get into her apartment. Like I said, they're cute. To those saying this is fake, listen man, that's your right to believe it. Even I think it's fake. And I'm the one that has to figure out how to ship 200 Funko Pops to my ex. So there you go. Top comments. I'm the one that has to figure out how to ship 200 Funko Pops to my ex. Nope. His brother can figure that shit out. The dude is no longer your responsibility. You also don't have to pay double rent. Jake can pay his rent for a place he doesn't live in. You need to find a new place to live so you don't have to be surrounded by a reminder of your past relationship. Exterminatus for life. He had 200 Funko Pops. Yeah, it was doomed from the start. It really does feel like the boyfriend misinterpreted the honeymoon phase as being a permanent staple of what the relationship will be like, and suddenly got jealous about the fact that he and his girlfriend don't have that phase, or that kind of intimate connection that he's hearing through the walls from his brother. It's also real great that in the process of him being frustrated, he went for the racial card because of his jealousy. He had to find reasons why he couldn't actually like Bonnie or deal with Bonnie, or reasons why his current partner is better. So, racism. Like, good on the brother for kicking him out, but that definitely does suck for OP, because that is a really just shitty situation to be thrown into. It also sucks because the girlfriend and the boyfriend already had pre-established boundaries for what they were expecting and wanting in a relationship, and then the boyfriend realized, oh wait a minute, I actually do want this kind of stuff, but didn't have that conversation with his girlfriend. They maybe wanted to explore more romantic gestures in the relationship, and instead went straight for, you don't do enough for me, we don't do enough oral, you don't pack my lunches for me, and you don't ask for my permission when you get your hair cut. Like, Buddy had some deep-seated problems already if that was his reaction to seeing a relationship like that. This post was collected by Exile Boulette, and their tagline is, I will erupt, feral from the cardigan screaming. Originally posted November 25th, 2024, to r/Denmark. Original poster is Luganag GG. Exile Boulette puts a small little disclaimer here. The original post is written in Danish. I've translated it to the best of my abilities, and I've altered the text a little to make it more readable in English. If you have questions or suggestions about the translation, please let me know. Colleague sends me disgusting pictures. November 25th, 2024. I, male 19, work in an office where already 1 week after I started, a coworker, male 34, began to send me some creepy messages. For example, that he's about to masturbate. I chose to ignore him and not to respond, as he's very smart and has a good network that I can use/learn from. We work in a startup environment. He usually ignores me during work hours, but at Friday Bar, a Danish tradition where students/coworkers meet after study/work to share a drink or two. Or on weekends, he messages me a lot. I reply as I want to learn about the topic he's an expert in, but he always turns it into something creepy or personal. For example, that he's having an orgy with his childhood friend, or some jokes that aren't really funny, like, haha, I know you want to have sex with me. He knows that I'm not gay and that I have a girlfriend. Last Saturday, he sent me a picture of himself in his bed with his bare stomach and wrote that he had an orgy last night. I've had enough and answered, I don't fucking want to hear about your sexual life. This made him mad, and he accused me of not being his friend and only using him to learn and advance my career. Then he sent me a 4-minute video that I haven't opened. I guess he's just trying to gaslight me or lie. It's been like this for 4 months. Now I understand, as a man, how women in the movie industry can be exploited or how things like this can go this far. I know he's stopping next week, so I guess that's why I ignored it until now. Please tell me what I can do as a young man just starting out in the job market. Commenter 1. That's sexual harassment, and it's illegal. Unfortunately, you are not alone. Inform your boss, HR, and your union representative. Commenter 2. Get your boss, union representative, and HR involved right away. Fuck what you think he can teach you. It's not worth it. Commenter 3. It's not just the movie industry. I honestly think the vast majority of women have been sent pictures/videos they didn't ask for, have been given a helping hand a little too far down the waist, or have been the butt of sexual jokes. It's really good that you share your experience. The more people speak up, the greater the chance that others who don't dare or can't speak up will be heard one day. And good that you haven't opened the video. It doesn't matter what it shows. The picture he sent you should be enough to get him fired or convicted. Update, November 29th, 2024, 4 days later. I told my bosses. They were super nice and took it very seriously. The evidence was reviewed and a lawyer was called to see what the best legal option is. 2 hours after we talked and made a firing plan, my boss took him aside. Boss, could it be true that you sent some inappropriate messages to person X? Colleague, yes, boss. Do you think they might have crossed a line? Yes, boss. I think you should take your stuff and leave right now. Okay. My colleague hurried and grabbed his stuff and left without saying goodbye to the remaining 30 colleagues. Even to his closest colleague, he just said he had to go, without explaining he had just been fired. Commenter 1. How cool that the boss took it seriously and that there were consequences right away. Commenter 2. Damn good to have competent and responsible management. Honestly, the only reason why this probably actually went in a good direction so quickly and was so snappy was because it was Denmark and not America. Please feel free to add any further advice to this, but just in general, if you do have a colleague or coworker that begins sending you unsolicited explicit messages, you should probably go to HR immediately. The last thing you want is for them to have some sort of, counter case against you that because you never said no, that was an implicit form of consent and that you were actually enjoying it. And now because you took so long to report it, because of that, they're able to claim that you were actually enjoying it, and now because of maybe some weird fiasco that happened between you two, you're now trying to bury their career out of malice or jealousy. I'm not sure if that fully makes sense, but just try to avoid giving any kind of leniency and make sure you immediately report any kind of behavior like this that's unwarranted. It might ruffle a few feathers and things might be awkward, but it's always better to put a stop to it now before it gets out of control. Assuming you have a competent HR department, which again, the HR department isn't there for you, it's there to prevent the company from getting a lawsuit, which in a case like this, could definitely be a lawsuit against them. So yeah, they're gonna wanna definitely come to your aid and come by your side to avoid essentially them from being liable from the actions of one of their employees for sending sexually explicit materials to you. But please, feel free to correct me if I'm a little off basis here or not 100% there, or if you have anything further to add in terms of that. Also, as a final note, I just want to add that people that behave like this give the LGBTQ community a really nasty look because they pretty much fall right into the stereotype of, oh, they're all predators, and oh, they are going to try to force me to do things that I don't want to do, or oh, they're going to try to turn me gay or some stuff like that. It's unfortunate that those kind of stereotypes exist, but it's because of creeps like this guy here that OP had to deal with that those stereotypes are there. And I just kind of wanted to reaffirm that 99.9% of gay people and LGBTQ people are not like this. Hey, welcome to the outro. Don't forget this whole thing is basically brought to you by GamerSupps. If you like caffeine, then I can't recommend GamerSupps enough. Use code Oz at checkout to support the channel. And I do actually use this product. It's replaced all other sources of caffeine for me because I feel good. It doesn't have any of that extra stuff that a pre-workout blend might have. It's with a couple of the extra things to make it so you don't crash as hard. It's good. I like it. Personally, if you really want a good flavor, try the Soda Pressing Pear or even the Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are my personal favorites right now.